House Leader, third party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On May 14th, the Ministry of Energy and Mines issued an order to South Island Aggregates pertaining to a piece of property the company owns in the Shawnigan watershed, a piece of property known as Lot 21, on which the company has deposited somewhere in the neighbourhood of 100,000 tonnes of industrial soil. This lot is directly adjacent to Lot 23, where the same operators have deposited 100,000 tonnes of contaminated soil, much to the dismay of Shawnigan residents. The mines order reads, the permit holder shall remediate the mine site by removing all soils imported since the date of issuance of permit G8331. Upon completion, the permit holder will provide the inspector with a written report showing that the volume of material removed from the site corresponds to the volume imported since the date of issuance of the permit. This remediation shall be completed by September 30th, 2019. My question is for the Minister of Energy, Mines and Petroleum Resources. It is now October 8th. Has the company responded to the order that your ministry issued, and has the soil been removed from the site as ordered?
Minister of Energy, Mines and Petroleum Resources.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. And first, I just want to acknowledge the hard work that this member has done on behalf of her community on this issue. I remember the very first time I actually met her, she was bringing this issue to the legislature with the then MLA, Bill Routley. And I just wanted to acknowledge her hard work on this because we do have a problem on our hands. In May, as the member mentioned, we did issue a compliance order on South Island Aggregates because they were out of compliance with their permit. They had until September 30th to get in compliance with that order. The site has recently been inspected, and what we found, Honourable Speaker, was that they were still out of compliance. They had not taken our order seriously. That is unacceptable. This issue is now before a statutory decision maker so that we can proceed moving forward in terms of how we can bring them into compliance, and the punishment, or should I say the penalty that they will have to pay in reference to being out of compliance longer than they should have been.
House Leader, third party on a supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the Minister for her response. I harken back to May 2016 when the BC Auditor General released an audit of compliance and enforcement in the mining sector. One of the report's main findings was, quote, both Ministry of Mines and Ministry of Environment's enforcement responses have significant deficiencies, and Ministry of Mines enforcement tools are in some cases ineffectual. This is resulting in delayed or unsuccessful enforcement by ministries and inaction in several instances. Nearly 3.5 years after this report was released, we have a company with a long history of non-compliance with both its mines and environment permits, essentially disregarding an order from the ministry. And I hear that the minister is saying that they intend to take action. However, Shawnigan has been hearing that story for a very long time. My question is to the Minister of Energy, Mines and Petroleum Resources. If the ministry doesn't seem to have the capacity to enforce the rules of its orders and to bring about compliance, who is in this province looking out for the public interest?
Minister, Energy, Mines and Petroleum Resources.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. And I appreciate that the people of Shawnigan Lake lost confidence in government when they saw time and time again their issues not being considered, not being addressed. And it was part of a larger problem under the previous government, Honourable Speaker. This government takes its responsibilities as a regulator very seriously. So seriously, Honourable Speaker, that we put 20...
Members, the Minister has the floor. Thank you.
I get that the opposition is quite upset by the fact that we put $20 million, Honourable Speaker, into this ministry to put more boots on the ground to make sure that inspections are taking place. Those inspections are now taking place, Honourable Speaker. That's why we have people on the ground knowing exactly what's going on with Lot 21, knowing exactly what's happening there, and taking action to make sure that we're bringing South Island Aggregates into compliance, something when they were in government they never did. Yeah.